dear brothers and sisters in Christ. In the book of the prophet Daniel, there is recounted the story of the three young men, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, who refused to abandon their faith. They refused to abandon their religion for the king of Babylon. The king had been bound and had them bound and thrown into the fire. But as we know the story, the angel of God joined them there, and they walked to the flames unharmed. Our passage today from the first reading, which is also from the book of Daniel, sees Azariah speaking to God from within the midst of the flames, from within the fire, and asking God to look kindly on them and on their people, and to forgive the sins of the people, because the sins of the people brought them such torment, placed them in such pain. The psalm continues this theme of seeking God's forgiveness, and also the topic of God's forgiveness reappears in the Gospel, but it receives a more extended explanation from Jesus. In the Gospel, Jesus tells his disciples that prayer, although good on its own, might be not enough. We must also forgive our neighbors wherever they wronged us. And that forgiveness must come from the converted heart, not just from the lips. The logic which Jesus is using in the Gospel of Matthew is very simple. If you do not forgive others, how can you stand before God and expect God to forgive us, forgive you, when we withhold forgiveness? We know that forgiving might be a problem for us at times, especially that we are living in an eye for an eye world, in a get-even culture, which doesn't have the time or desire to promote the kind of forgiveness that Jesus is teaching us in the Gospel. In the contemporary, that is very competitive world, forgiveness is actually considered a weakness and not a virtue, and certainly not a strength. The readings today remind us of the necessity to forgive the other an unlimited amount of times. Jesus is asking his followers, and obviously each one of us here, to acquire hearts that are open to the power of his converting and transforming love, which in turn should enable us to offer pardon to those who wrong us. It is important, however, dear brothers and sisters, to understand that forgiveness is not to be confused with a naive or irrational attitude when we continually forgive an abusive partner, when we continually forgive an abusive person who keeps repeating the abusive behavior, whether it is because of habit or other causes. Obviously, abuse must always be challenged. There is the concept of the so-called tough love. If we really love somebody, we have to demand as well. Nor is forgiveness the same as reconciliation. We know from our studies that reconciliation requires more than one person. Reconciliation may not be possible because the other person is simply unwilling. But nothing can stop us from forgiving if we wish to forgive. It is the unwillingness to forgive that would put us in the same boat with the wicked servant in today's parable. During this Lenten season, we are constantly reminded through the liturgy of the Church and also through the Word of God especially, that our hearts are in the need of change, in the need of transformation, in the need of healing. Today, this reminder comes to us in the story of the unforgiving servant. Many people, perhaps whom we know, are oppressed by their own inability to let go, to pardon others, which personally affect their lives. And because of it, they suffer and even they question their belonging to Christ. We should pray for them. We should pray that Christ progressively increase their willingness to forgive. We should also pray that Christ help us to cultivate this very important virtue of pardoning others, that for Christians continues to remain also a valid way of life.